Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Hello. It's me, Slidewhistle.
'Tis I, Immunization.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag, and my computer is actively trying to sabotage me. I just had to fight it for 52 literal, now 53, literal minutes. Ah!
Don't jinx us.
I know.
If you could say one thing to your computer right now, what would it be?
Well, I'd say, why? Why? But I'd also say, please accept my Ethernet cord when it comes to BNet. I got it to make my connection better for streaming and uploading and stuff. And then I was like, oh, it doesn't work with BNet. And I quickly realized that's a lot of what I use for my computer for other than work. So I was like, please work.
Did you ever figure that one out?
No. I have yet to. It makes me very sad.
Have you tried, like, Steam? Have you tried, like, other gaming platforms?
You know what? I haven't. So, I mean, I need to. I sure hope those work. Ugh.
That's really weird. Yeah, it's got to be a weird port issue, but, like, good luck figuring that shit out. That shit's difficult. I hate that.
Like, I'll hire a man to come in here and just be like, fix it. Because, like, I want to use these things. Luckily, the Wi-Fi, like, isn't bad. I mean, it's what I've been using all this time. But I got a literal 100-foot long Ethernet cord. It snakes through the entirety of my house, and now I don't even use it.
Wait, so is your problem you can't connect to the internet strongly enough?
No, everything works. What it is when I go on, I can say BattleNet, because I tried it on Overwatch last night, and it also fucked up. It is, I go in there, I can play for like 1 minute, and then it just disconnects. But like the internet works fine, and when I'm working, Adobe works fine. It's just something about BNet, but I've been goofing around with it for a week, and it's broken. It's yucky.
I think you're cursed. You're fucking cursed, dude. That's it.
I am. I'm cursed.
So that means that you couldn't download the PTR over your Ethernet cord?
I guess I couldn't, but also I just didn't download the PTR.
I want to kind of get in there. And the only reason I want to go on the PTR, which I normally don't do for WoW, is you can test the Dark Moon Fair minigame, apparently. And I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta test that.
What is this Dark Moon Fair minigame?
Oh, is this the dance one you're talking about?
Yeah, the like dance house minigame.
They also announced that they're going to be adding those new shaman forms to the PTR the next time they update it.
Do you think I could dance in the Dark Moon Fair in my new shaman form? Will they allow that?
I mean, I feel like they'd have to. I mean, they wouldn't discriminate based on shape or size. If you're a weird, smooth wolf man who has rhythm, you gotta get in there and dance.
It's like the ultimate test of their PTR. Does it work? Can the wolf dance? Who knows?
But does the wolf dance?
Oh man,
that's the new question to ask for any World of Warcraft update. But can the wolf dance?
I was gonna like sing the tune, but I didn't want to get stuck in my head, so I won't. I refuse. What did you guys end up doing in raid / Okay, so it's not raid anymore, right? Now it's Mythic Days?
Yes, it's Mythic Days. This last week, I ran 2 whole Mythics with raid leader Lynn, resident softboy Myth, and the 4th and 5th host and post, respectively, Jamunky and Suleiman.
I'm sorry, but what is a resident soft boy?
He's just a very soft man. He never... If Myth was to ever yell, I would be really upset, because I've never seen that man emote outside of like, aw, man.
I was hoping that something happened and that like, he called himself a soft boy during these runs, and I was like, that doesn't sound like Myth.
No, he's just a little soft man. Like, you could be like, Myth, oh my god, a train's coming, and you'd be like, oh, looks like I better move. But we did 2 of them, because Lynn was like, I'm tired. And then the next day, I went in and did 1, and Suli and Jamunky were not there, so I was like, okay, I'll do with like Lynn and some other people, and it was a real snoozeville, and we had to pug a hunter, and then I was like, you know what? I actually am not gonna do this.
Wait, why did you pug someone? I was literally there, not doing anything.
Bring it up with your leadership. It was Lynn, Minnie, Myth, and Gungar. And Gungar was not very good at avoiding traps in Sanguine. He was a survival hunter, but maybe he needs to pick up a gun again, because he's not good close up.
You would think survival hunters know all about the traps, but I guess not.
What level do you guys run with Gungar?
I want to say it was like a 14. I mean, people were beefing it all around, but Gungar was of our like 15 deaths, my man was responsible for at least 9 of them.
Spoken like a true Gungar.
So I am 1 mythic away from the day or the weekly. Not that I super need it. I was really only doing it so I could maybe get the hat. If I could just get the hat, I would be content.
What hat?
The hat that drops off of either Sylvanas or Ner'zhul. Although, can you get domination pieces out of the weekly thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, because, that's the one thing I need. And not for any sort of, like, skills or abilities. I just want it for the Mog achievement.
Speaking of the Mog achievement, I got it this week for the first time.
Whoa,
I think.
did
you? I never get this achievement for, like, any tier. I got it because my vault was, like, pretty sucky this week. I was like, none of these things are good for me. I'm like, but this one piece of legs, I think it was, I at least don't have the appearance of, so I guess I'll grab those. And then it's like, ding, you got the style achievement for a full set of Sadi's gear. I'm like, what? I didn't know that I was just missing the legs.
So I also have the achievement, but I got it like 2 or 3-ish weeks ago, and I just logged on and it gave me the achievement. And I was like, I didn't earn any clothes off screen. So how did I log into this achievement? It doesn't make any sense.
I think sometimes WoW's achievement thing is just busted. Because I logged on to Gelbin 2, and it gave me, like, the achievement for killing the first 3 bosses in Sadi's on normal. And he's not even level 60. Well, he is now, but at the time, he wasn't even level 60. He definitely was not in Sadi's.
Oh my god, wait, stop. Do you think, guys, have we uncovered something huge here? Is this a modern day Toy story where our characters are actually playing themselves while we're asleep? So Gelbin 2, he was in there. He was in Sadi's, the first 3 bosses. Wild Seed, she was out shopping for clothes and finished off the feat she needed.
I don't know what the fuck my alts are doing then. Why they aren't giving me those sick chieves?
You got lazy villagers.
I do have lazy villagers, actually, in Animal Crossing on my island that I haven't played in a little bit. I have at least 3 lazy villagers.
Who are they? Who are they?
Rex the lion, right? I think he's lazy. I have... Ooh, there's, is there a penguin besides Cube that's lazy?
Definitely. Puck? No, is Puck sporty or is he lazy?
I don't remember.
The only penguin we ever had was Rolled, and I hated him.
Oh, Roll's got a lot of good memes, though.
Roll did have a lot of good memes, but I was tired of him, so we were like, we'll let him go whenever he wants to. And then he never did. So he's one of the very few that we had to be like, Rolled, this is Wolfgang. He's your replacement. Pack your shit up and get out by the end of the day.
Oh, poor baby Rolled.
And my third one was Big Top, the one that was making his rounds amongst everyone, did have a short stint on my island.
Okay, I don't want to talk about Big Top anymore. I fucking hate Big Top, so let's... Aaron, what was your funny joke that you made about WoW when I made my funny joke about... I want to go back to your joke.
You know what? I can't even remember.
Damn it.
Oh, well, what I was going to say was, of any character to engage in a Toy Story story... I mean, I love Gelbin too, but, like, it can't be, someone who's got a little bit more clout. Someone who, didn't just ding 60. I mean, if Growl could pick up some clothes, I'd be appreciative.
If wishes were fishes, we'd all be... quick, somebody give me a body of water and one Azeroth.
1,000 noodles.
1,000 needles.
It's like my gran always said.
What did she say? Did she say anything?
No, the saying like you just
yeah,
said.
she
Oh!
said that if wishes were fishes, we would all be in 1,000 needles.
I thought you were making a joke that like she was dead and that it was silence and there was no joke. I was like, oh man, that's deep.
I would never wish that on my grands. Even the one I don't like very much said, I don't understand anti-vaxxers. And I was like, Gran, that is a very unused statement, but I'm glad to hear you say it. So she got some points.
It's funny, I was talking to her too, your grandmother, and she was like, I don't get why they moved the portal person to Outland from the Mage Tower. Where did they put them at?
Wilma has a lot of extra time. If she dropped that she was like, I'm playing Classic, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Wilma's like, I missed the Blasted Lands portal in the Mage Tower.
Man,
What do you mean you can't fight Doomlord Kazakh? Why, are you just a little pussy? You're gonna complain?
We actually learned that she was secretly watching you train in that raiding training team we were around. She was there the whole time.
She was the Australian man. She was put on she's not very theatrical, but she was able to do a perfect Australian man accent.
No, I was going to say she just bought one of those like voice changing softwares.
Which, I'm so sorry, we're going to get into like current WoW in a bit here. I see this ad all the time on YouTube that's like, hello, my name is Michael. I am one of the many voices from Speech-Allo. You probably could not even tell I was an AI. And I was like, if this is what you guys can put out for your commercial, you need to be worried. Because I could instantly tell that this was a computer.
No, that's good though. Everyone nods their head and says, "Oh my god, he sounds so lifelike." Because if we let them know that they sound too robotic, then they're going to get out of control. We need to keep them robotic so we know who they are. We can identify them.
That's the only way to avoid the singularity is to gatekeep girl boss gaslight these computers.
But if they catch on, then not only will they sound like us someday, they'll hit us with that triple G themselves,
Okay, but we have some stuff to talk about here. So 9.2 is coming sometime, hopefully soon. And Wowhead posted this thing. I mean, they reposted a blue post. How do you see blue posts? I mean, I know you have to go on the forums, right? Do I have to actually scour the forums and go through the blue post tracker to see blue posts myself? Like, ugh.
Oh, I just signed them on Wowhead, so thank you to Wowhead for doing that, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm sick of them. I'm so sick of you, Wowhead. And MMO Champ sucks.
God, that's a name I haven't heard in a millennia.
So they're talking about the Mythic Plus Tormented Hero title, and it's for the top 1% of players. Sorry, the 0.1% of players.
I was struggling really hard to try to figure out like what that meant, but then I kept coming back to the fact that I'm pretty sure that MMO Champ is Papa Cheese's homepage still.
Okay, but so the top 0.1% of players of each faction ranked by your mythic rating at the end of the season will get a title that's, I think, called, the Tormented Hero? Like, not literally what it's called? Yeah. That's whatever. I'm not getting that. But it says, because each region has different numbers for Mythic Plus participants in each faction, the ranking required for the top 0.1% is expected to be significantly different between the factions. To make the faction rankings as fair as possible, we're setting a faction transfer cutoff date. Any player character that faction changes on or after January 18th, 2022 will be ineligible for the Tormented Hero title regardless of their Mythic Plus rating. So this is them effectively saying your bid to get this top percentage ends relatively soon. If you can't transfer after the 18th, then I feel like it's coming to a close soon, right?
Yeah, that definitely sounds like they're going to get things going towards implementing 9.2 next reset.
Okay, so that means then we could draw a line saying that this date also could correspond to the end of the current season of Mythic Plus. Is that what you're thinking?
I don't think it's going to be that one-to-one. I think this is going to be like a general, like, I feel like maybe like by the end of January, maybe the beginning of February, we're going to have an update on when 9.2 and our current season. Are we in season 3 right now or season 2?
Season 2, I believe.
So I think they're gonna announce season 2's end date sometime relatively soon after January 18th. Because why isn't that date so weird? Like, why is that the date for when you can't transfer anymore?
It is really weird. I assume that they would set a date because they don't want people changing factions last minute and then sneaking in. Well, it'd basically be people switching from Horde to Alliance so that they could become part of the 0.1%.
Right, and so they're cutting that off. So all in all, this has to mean that we're getting something soon. Like, so praise, please, fucking this off. Let's go. Give me some new content to chew on.
Yeah, because like I think today earlier they had their first of the year, their first developer update for World of Warcraft posted. And they very obviously did not post any hints or dates about when 9.2 would be coming out. So we have no choice but to look at this weird post with this weird date and make a few assumptions.
I also love, though, that they did include very clearly at the bottom an asterisk. Please note that we have not yet announced the Eternity's End release date. Yeah, we fucking know. We know.
We've been waiting.
Please.
We're tired. I'm playing my Mechagnome rogue. That's how starved I am.
I'm gonna level my Mechagnome warrior. We got 2 Mechagnomes on deck.
I will stand my ground.
Do you?
I'm not making a Mechagnome.
I was about to say, do you even have one?
No, and I never will, baby. I unlocked them, but that's the closest I'll ever get to have one, you know?
Why don't you just bite the fucking bullet and make a Mechagnome priest to replace yours?
Oh my god, let me just tell you, like, Slidewhistle and I were looking at, like, his different Mog options for Mechagon, his, Mechagnome warrior, and boy.
Excuse me, I would like you to give the full respects to my warrior's name. The full title included.
Okay, I'm sorry. Talon King Mechagon.
Thank you. Talon King Mechagon. That's right, I have the name Mechagon, spelled regularly. Unfortunately, there's no king title, but I do have Talon King from Warlords of Draenor, so I'm Talon King Mechagon.
The Talon is actually silent, you know?
Can I tell you something completely awful about Mog options?
Could you make this worse? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's worse, but Cubby Bub and I were playing the computers next to each other because our computers are, instead of the usual thing where they're back to back, they're side to side. And I was openly complaining.
Who's got back to back computers?
I feel like there's always gamer couples where it's like, this is our huge table and we're back to back. And then the meme is always like the guys is like super epic and souped up, and then the girls is like Hello Kitty souped up.
Oh, like the chairs are back to... I was imagining the desks being back to back. Like I'm in a work cubicle. I was like, what the...
But anyways, I was complaining because on Gelbin 2, I do have the Heritage Armor. And I was like, I just wish the arms and the legs matched it, because like the Heritage Armor is yellow and my arms are brown. And she was like, well, can you change your arms? I was like, well, I don't think so. So on a whim, she was like, try it. I went to the barber. You can change the color of your prosthetics. And there is one that is gold that completely matches the armor.
Yeah. Why were you not already wearing that? I'm wearing that.
Because the rusty arms look cool.
You're telling me you had the rusty clamps?
I did. I had the rusty clamps and the rusty feeties, and I intentionally gimped myself. I was like, oh. So, but then I had the gold hands on, and I was like, these are a little too fancy for me. So I did go back to wearing my gold heritage armor and my rusty clamps.
It would be cool if they made, like, a faded, like, rust bolt bucket version of the heritage armor. You know, there's, like, a race skin where it's, like, a little dirty and, like, Mechagon Island dinged up. That's asking a lot, I realize, but, you know.
I mean, I guess there's only, like, 7 people in the world who play Mechagnomes, but I know I'd appreciate it.
You know what's funny is that, though, competitively for the Alliance, they're actually usually one of the better races, because they have like a haste bonus, I think, or they have some kind of bonus that makes them like DPS worthy. And I'm like, come on.
So what, is it like them and Dark Irons and probably Night Elves?
I think all of the new races are pretty up there because they gave them just so many fun toys and tricks.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying really. I think they probably were trying to give them good racials, so the Horde would be like, maybe I will play that. But it's hard when you fucking give us diaper robots. Who's gonna switch for that? You know, there's one guy out there who is like, yes, Mechagnomes, I'm switching the Alliance. My dreams come true.
I gotta say, in my adventures, I have become a little bit of a Mechagnome apologist. Their Mog is doo-doo, but I do like their animations.
I was really worried though, Slide. I thought you were going to say that there's at least one guy out there that was like, had like a diaper fetish and was like, yeah, I'm finally having my representation in this game.
Oh no, I was going for that one.
I mean, you easily could any pants that are white, and then you can go shirtless, so you can just be a little diaper baby.
I actually do think I'm gonna agree with Arano. I do think I kind of like their animations. It's just really unfortunate that their Mog is just heritage armor, and that's it.
Well, the one Starseeker set that you bought looked okay on them.
Yeah, if you can wear like a cloak or a dress to cover the legs, then you're also are good.
Okay, so this doesn't really have a fun little thing, but it's just something I was thinking about because we were talking about the Mechagnomes. I have to issue my first, and I don't know if it's my first, but my first official DNR retraction.
DNR retraction.
Early in my career, when playing on Gelbin 2, I said he was the most unfun alt that I did during my Heritage Armor quest. And I gotta say, I'm really, really enjoying him on this second go-through while leveling him. Like, Assassination Rogue is a lot more fun than I gave it credit for.
Which is interesting because I guess this is why it's a retraction. You've pretty consistently, I think, on this podcast shit on Assassination.
Yes, because it was the only one that I had firsthand experience with, and I was like, they're slow, they can't live or anything. The first issue I found out while Googling like how to actually play Assassination Rogue. I was not using, I forgot the name of the ability, but there's one that makes you twice as fast as you are. And I was not.
Is it the slice and dice one or whatever?
Yeah, and I was not using it, so it was a real wah moment. If you do that, its viability increases triple-fold.
Triple-fold? That's like three.
Yeah, it's like, it's all of a sudden it became viable, it became fun, and it's just so weird because it's like, and it's also like a debuff bleeds type character, which I had done with my, Affliction. My Affliction Warlock, and I was like, I hate these types of characters. But it just feels good with Assassination Rogue. I don't know, I'm just like, I'm sorry, everyone. 160 episodes, and I was poo-pooing this entire experience, but this is my official DNR retraction. Gelbin 2 is fun, and dare I say, has become the one of the more fun Heritage Armor alts.
It sounds like we need Immune to make a monk Mechagnome, and you can heal us with it, and Aaron can DPS, and I could prot tank. I've done it before.
I mean, I did jokingly say to fourth host of the podcast, Jamonkey, that I needed to make a Mechagnome Mistweaver monk. I mean, it was a joke. I mean, but maybe I could do it.
Mecha monk.
Mecha monk.
I have. Excuse me. I have a.
I thought you were over there. You were watching, or you were looking at your Kangaskhan Pokemon cards in the shower again. I have.
No, the ink.
You were a baby boy again.
It's funny. I literally have a level 50 human warrior named Hey, and instead of choosing to level my level 23 Mechagnome warrior, Like, I want to have that taste of leveling, you know? And just, the combat just feels so fucking good.
You know, it's funny because, like, I also have a monk that is already pretty leveled. This is a night elf monk named Extravaganza, but, like, and she's, like, almost level 40, I think, so I would be starting again just to have a Mechagnome.
She's 40. She's getting up there. She's old. You know, you got to replace her with the young and the new, the brave and the bold, the Batman.
Or you could pay like $15 to just make her a Mechagnome so that you feel double bad.
I mean, at that point, if I'm doing a Mechagnome, I might as well do it from the beginning so I can get the heritage armor, which is whatever, I guess.
That's mostly also why I'm doing it. And I'm like, I saw Aaron's achievements. I want some of those hot achievements. Wait, Aaron, just level for us. You've done it before. What's 2 more?
I mean, and I wouldn't hate it if it wasn't illegal.
Sell your
I'm
services.
turning you into the Blizzard police right now.
And they're going to be like, are you the guy who made fun of Assassination Rogue? Is that you? And you're going to be like,
oh no, they're going to slam me on the car. That's an unforgivable sin.
They're going to be like, I wish you knew where your banish button was now, huh? Bam, 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 bam.
I do. It's on the right side of my screen.
Behind the bars.
Straight to jail. Okay, what are you guys drinking today? I have to know. Aaron, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Truly tea. This last one I had in front of me was a raspberry tea, but it's made for tiny men, and I'm a big boy. So
shit.
It did not last me.
Are we gonna start some fights, Aaron?
I was just about to say, you know what? I'm really taking the night by the balls here and drinking Truly tea, a substance I'm known for battling while fueled on. But no, I don't think I want to start any fights.
Well, no, see, I need you to start fights because I am automatically inscripting you two to come with me to the mall after this. I need to kill a rare, and I need 3 people to summon it, and nobody ever responds to me in the mall chat.
Okay, let me make a deal, broker a deal here with you. I am currently going to all of the zones right now and trying to get the achievements for treasures and rares. And, okay, first off, I just want to say, for the killing rares one, you don't need to kill all the ones on the list. You only need to kill 15 of the, 20 whatever. I didn't know that. So I'm at, 13 in Ardenweald right now, and one of them you need a Night Fae to get to, so I'm going to make you do that for me.
What do I have to do for you? You need to open a seed or something?
I need you to, soul shape past this barrier.
Oh, that old one that used to not work? Oh, I forgot about that guy. I haven't seen that boss since, the beginning of the expansion. Because nobody goes there anymore.
Yeah, so we'll go on a little trip here.
Anyway, so I'm drinking a Truly mango chili. I'm drinking a margarita. And I'm drinking a gin and juice.
Do you just have 3 to 4 cups in front of you?
I didn't want to have to get up during recording. So then I just kind of kept having drinks placed on my desk.
I mean, and then okay, so the thing is, we're going into this, we were like, okay, we're coming back strong. We're going to have a Tamargarita Thursday. And then we were like, oh shit, we don't have enough time because we're going to be recording soon. But then you had your 45 minutes of technical difficulties, and I'm like, fine, I'm just going to go fucking make some margaritas. And then I did. And then you were still having difficulties when I got back.
It was perfect. It was the perfect timeline to make more drinks. So we just stocked up. So I'm ready to fucking go.
Yes. So I also, I love that we're all on the same wavelength here, all with the Trulies. I also have a Truly strawberry hibiscus margarita, which is the new flavors. We just got them for the first time this week. Hadn't tried them until now, but they're pretty good. And then I finished my margarita, and then I also have a rum and Diet Coke on deck. So.
Oh, you said that was the Truly margarita flavors?
Yes, so we have Truly margarita flavors, but then also we have margaritas.
The lime one, that took me to a different, like a McDonald's Sprite type place.
Yes!
I drank that and I was like,
yes, I love it. It tastes like a margarita, but not in the bad. It's all of the good parts of the margarita and none of the bad.
My first sip was very much like the Idris Elba, oh, what the fuck meme. I just got impacted, and I was like, oh.
Imagine your worst margarita you ever had.
Oh, hey, it's trivia night.
Oof.
And now That's not in the Truly. So there you go. Perfect.
It isn't a Crunchies margarita is in fact not in this can.
Indeed. It's not in there.
Just kidding. Their margaritas were okay to mid, but their burritos were bad.
They're gonna unfollow us on Twitter.
I do miss trivia nights there. Those are like probably the peak of my life.
Whoa. Okay, don't say that. The peak?
It's been a half decade. Fall into sadness since then.
Well, at least the peak of my trivia having life. Like we have not found a trivia experience better.
That is very true. I have flirted with other trivia experiences, and none have reached Mike D's crunchy run.
Mike D, Sporkle MC, if you're a listener, let us know. Scrowina will interview you on the streets.
Speaking of which, come over here, Mike D. You heard our plea instantly. Come get interviewed by Growlina.
Hola, mis buenas amigas. Growl back in the new year to bring you a little slice of life as we travel this World of Warcraft. I'm here today with Riglu, who was just telling me about their love of the bone spike. Rig, can you give me a bit of background into this fatal femur?
LOL, yeah. Well, Bone Spike is my covenant ability for the Necros. I just pitched a shaved bone into someone and it just kind of wriggles around.
I see. What makes this ability so rad to you?
I mean, it's just funny, LOL. Other people are opening up magic portals and turning into scary monsters. I just get to throw things at someone, and they awkwardly get jammed in there for the rest of their lives. Plus, you can see them just sitting there and some enemies. I mean, you just can't beat that.
Truly, you cannot. I've always been rather proud of my magical mirrors, but I can tell by your enthusiasm that these shaved shin bones are quite the treat. You hear that, rogues? Get some stank on yourselves and try these poisonous projectiles out. Until next time, all you beautiful people, it's been Growlina.
Well, you know, it's like I always say, since when did the Horde share its lunch with the Alliance? Since the Alliance took its shirt off. That meme is titled What We Always Knew About the Blood Elves, so is it just being like, they're gay?
I think so. It's so stupid.
But we love it. Thanks for sharing it on our Discord. Go to do.relent.com to join the Discord.
Okay, but we got some more 9.2 news to talk about. Okay, so it's been confirmed by Blizzard that you will have to complete a rep to Revered to have your double legendary. And when that news dropped, the World of Warcraft community went wild.
Seed.
Yes. William.
So, okay. I get the outrage and the fact that, like, that is, 4 full weeks after 9.2 drops if you're grinding properly, I suppose. Although, like, wait. Let's rewind it here. Like, what did the Wowhead thing say about this?
The Wowhead thing, okay, now this is the funny part. I don't think anybody is actually reading the Wowhead articles. They're just reading the headlines. Including us at some points, before even just we were talking about, like, obviously, like, before the show, and only reading through it now did I realize what they meant. Stop looking, you cheater. I'll say it.
You gotta learn in media res.
Wowhead starts off by saying, how long does it take? Will it take you to unlock double legendaries by hitting Revered with the Enlightened? Wowhead says it currently takes, on PTR, a maximum of 28 days to reach Revered with the Enlightened and unlock access to the Court of Unity and the Memory of Unity. And in a quick sentence after, they say, this is a worst case scenario. You can see the math behind it below. So why would you put your worst case in bold and in white, knowing how dumb people are and aren't going to read it?
Us.
So everybody immediately assumes that maximum is minimum. So everyone thinks this is a minimum of 28 days. The first comment on Wowhead says, so to reach Exalted, will I need 3 months or what? And I'm like, no, Fa87. You got to reread it like how I reread it.
I also do think it's really weird, though, that they would, like, jump to the maximum instead of the minimum. I don't know. I feel like most people care about a minimum.
Okay, I definitely agree. Wowhead lets you create a little bit of outrage. They know that controversy creates cash, so, they really go for it.
Fucking aged Eric Bischoff is there, like, push it.
Okay, so then it goes on. How long does it take to complete daily rep activities in Zereth Mortis? Around 25 minutes without flying. Around 10 minutes with flying. 10 minutes with flying? Zereth Mortis is a mostly flat zone with a network of teleporters that will aid you before you unlock flying. You will likely unlock flying before reaching Revered with the Enlightened. Okay, how does flying in Zereth Mortis work?
Yeah, this is our first... Because Korthia, you never could. So it's interesting that you're like, oh, this one's pretty big.
Very early on, though, they did confirm that we would be able to fly here, though.
I don't remember what we have to do to fly here, though. Have they said? If you're out there and you're listening like, you guys said last episode, please remind us, because I don't fucking remember what I did yesterday, let alone last week.
Full disclosure, I don't normally remember what I said 20 minutes before right now in this podcast,
So, I mean, that's all sounds like good news, because, like, man, the last rep grind, as I've said time and time again, with what the Archivist Codex, murdered me. I never have hated a rep grind before, ever. It's so bad.
Yeah, that was a very defeating one to grind out.
And they allegedly made it faster, and I still feel like it's just as long. Like, in the sometimes I do it with alts, I'm like, I'm only level 2. It's been months.
So then they continue, and this is complete bullshit, right? Wowhead does not have any inside information, usually at WoW headquarters. They are estimating the timeline for how long it'll take you to be able to have both legendaries. They think by week 5, the double legendary will unlock at the start of week 5 or the end of week 4, corresponding with campaign chapter 7. Notes, speculation, created based on our knowledge about the patch. The second bullet point is, again, this is not an official timeline. They had to say it twice in the bullet points.
And people still won't understand that.
But, I mean, all in all, it really seems like if you need double legendaries, if you want double legendaries, it will not be as hard to obtain as it has in the past.
So do you think this could be held up if your guild is unable to clear past Anduin?
I don't think that... Do you get rep from Zereth Mortis from killing raid bosses?
I'm just looking at, like, the campaign chapters, and do you think that's gated with the storyline that goes with the raid?
No.
I mean,
no, I don't think... No,
they've never done that before in my career, or I guess...
Well, they did.
Our career.
Legion's ultimate storyline. Remember when you got handed off to Calicos, and he's like, now... go into the Emerald Nightmare and collect 24 seedling pods from the many bosses. And I never got enough because we beat it before I could even get any to drop. Because it was a really bad drop and I missed some weeks. And so I didn't have it for the longest time. I had to go back and it was a pain in the ass to get my big flying bird. But I don't think they're going to do that this time around. They really have kind of shied away from that. Basically what this is saying is you're going to have other shit to do. You're going to have the campaign to play. You're going to have the dungeons to do. You don't need double legendaries on week 1, right? Like, week 5 will not kill you if that's when it does come out.
This also confirms that Season 3 of Mythic Plus PvP raid and whatever starts 1 week after the expansion drops. I believe that's what that's saying. Which, I mean, the patch, not the expansion. Which also makes me feel like with this possible January 18th date, this all could be happening a lot sooner than people think.
Again, Wowhead says this is not an official timeline. This is their estimate based off past guessing.
No, I know. I'm just saying, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't think this is going to be as bad. I think people are losing their marbles because they haven't had to do we haven't had the rep grind in Final Fantasy. And it's like, well, that's an RPG, not an MMO. I mean, it's different. It's, you know what I mean? People, like, why do you want to get rid of rep grinds completely? Like, that's weird, right? It's too late for that. If that was going to happen, it would have happened in, like, Burning Crusade. Like, it's with us for life, right?
It's been a distinctly, at least WoW thing for a very long time, and a lot of people actually enjoy the rep grind.
I mean, and it's one of those things where it's tedious, yes, but I sort of know it's going to be that, and it's one of the cornerstones of MMOs. If they gave it to me all instantly, I feel like I would only get burned out quicker, and they're certainly ones to take their time with content. So if there's still things to do, I'm like, well, I'm motivated to keep playing. That said, I would like a balance between nothing and Archivist Codex. There was no need for that to be like a 5-month journey.
Right, that was horrible. So basically, people are trying to figure out which quests are the best ones to do to get your rep as well. And so far on the PTR, I guess certain quests aren't dropping rep. So like the daily quests don't give rep tokens. So you don't get really any extra gains. So you can only really do it by just like doing what they provide to you, not doing extra. But it's PTR. They can add anything whenever they feel like it. Like, and then if 28 days is worst case scenario, then that means everyone's gonna have it by that point anyway, right? You just log in, you do your daily, and you log off. So what you always do. It's why you play the game. You play the game to log in, do dailies, and log off, right?
Damn, you didn't have to lay it out like that, but
that's what MMOs are.
That's an MMO.
Like this is a classic MMO. Like those are always my expectations. I'm gonna have a daily to do, and if I don't want to do it, then I just won't do it. And if you don't want to do it, because for some of y'all don't even need double legendaries, right?
Yeah, no, that's the thing that like Aaron and I were talking about, is that like I feel like I would be more upset about the possibility of this possibly taking 4 full weeks to be able to use 2 legendaries if I cared on my main a lot more, because I don't know, I have my flash concentration. That's the only one I really need. All of the other Covenant ones for Holy Priest don't really impact me that much. I'll probably get them. I'll at least get, okay, so the Venthyr one and the Kyrian one, because like, I don't know, I am a Venthyr. I will be a Venthyr, but like, I dabble in Kyrian, so I want that as well. So I don't know, but like, it's not make it or break it.
Yeah, I can't speak for everyone, obviously, because I'm sure there are people where their Covenant legendary is important and you have to balance and stuff. Mine just takes time off mirrors after every fire blast, so it is the ultimate just like, oh, okay, that's neat. I'll be happy when I get to do that, but like, I'm not overly needing to do that week 1.
Every feral druid's gonna be fighting tooth and nail to fucking get this shit done.
Have you thought about what your other one is? Your air quotes major, but for you minor legendary?
It's definitely gonna be Apex Predator, which makes my bite stronger. People have began simming it. Other ferals are on PTR, and the damage looks like that's gonna be the best if they don't buff or nerf anything else. But it's my favorite one, so that means you get to have 2 of my best legendaries. Like, fuck yeah.
I was going to say, regardless of what everyone else on the Discord says, you're going to use that one just because you've always just used that one regardless of what they said anyways.
If Circle of Life and Death becomes the best one, I will not use it. Because what that does... what does it do? So Circle of Life and Death makes my bleeds tick 25% faster, which means more damage, right? I'm doing more damage quicker, but it fucks with me so hard. I have in my head... I just know when to press the buttons to reset my dots. And if the dots are falling off like 2 seconds before I expect them to, that means that that's 2 damage, 2 seconds when they're not dotted up. And that's huge. If I do not have my dots on them, I'm basically doing nothing. So I can never miss it. And oh my god, I fucked up so many times using that legendary. And I'm like, the boss isn't dotted. Oh god, we're dead.
Yeah, I mean, I get this too, because on my BM Hunter, I definitely am going to want the second legendary, because also the Night Fae one is my one that I just go to use, even though I'm supposed to be switching to other things. So I will be using the Ryle Stalkers or whatever it is as well, probably.
So if you play a lot of alts, then this is when you're going to want to do what I'm going to do and hit the fucking road running. Because don't forget, the memory to learn this is account-wide. So if you get it to Revered on your main, you get the Memory of Unity, and then all of your alts can learn how to make this and put this on a belt piece.
Oh, and that I would like to have my own DNR read action right now.
DNR redaction.
Because I was already reminded of this in the past. The like second legendary thing is really just your Covenant legendary. So that means that, like, I believe it should switch to whatever Covenant you are, right?
Yeah, so it will follow you.
So I would only need to make it one Sun Immune. So yeah, I take that back.
So, like, this sounds pretty good. I mean, like, again, I don't think they could possibly make a rep system worse than Archivist Codex. And I'm gonna imagine, with how things are going with the company and the player base and people being mad and everything, they're probably not gonna make it as hard as everybody's already crying about.
Yeah, they're in a particular people-pleasing mood right now. So something tells me they won't have the piss and vinegar that they did in 9.1.
Yeah. Okay, but dude, some of the shit on this rep vendor. So remember, it's called the Enlightened. Remember that name well, because we're gonna be hanging out with them a lot. The Quartermaster has received some items on PTR, and we can see what he's got in his low pockets.
What's he got in his pockets?
What's he got in his pockets? Is it a bunch of chocolate frogs?
We'll take the lot. Let's see.
Diagonally.
He has some contracts. He has contracts for his people. You know, the usual. Get their extra rep. Crafters Mark IV. I don't use those, so I don't care. He has a broker-themed Hearthstone toy. He has the Shadowlands Augment Rune, which I have to pick that shit up. He has pieces to craft 2 different mounts. More may be added. Ooh, that's spicy. But one of the funny things that he has that people are kind of like complaining about, which I'm pretty sure is on this dude. Yes, it is. Vessel of Profound Possibilities. It will allow you to learn and upgrade all conduits, all of them, to eye level 278. Is that a good eye level or no?
That is, right? That's higher than what we currently have,
Yeah,
I believe.
it's approximately 20 eye levels higher.
Are our conduit eye levels, are we not going to get better drops in 9.2? I guess I was imagining that we're going to treat them like gear, because we're going to have more gear for eye level, right?
Okay, so what I assume is that 278 is, what would that be, like, heroic, maybe, of Sepulcher? I don't know. Because, like, what is the current catch-up one that we have? It brings them all up to 226? Is that what it is?
Yes, and then you have to buy the thing off Archivist to get it to 252.
Okay, so that does shake out. But, okay, now this is something that I think is a little interesting. So, I guess that it requires Exalted with the Enlightened Broker. So you have to hit that last rep level. But it also requires something additional. It requires one of the following achievements to purchase. Any of the Keystone Hero achievements for Season 3 of Shadowlands Mythic Dungeons. Or the achievement Mythic, Sepulcher of the First Ones. Or PvP Gladiator Shadowlands Season 3.
Okay, clarify, what is Keystone Hero achievements?
Keystone Hero achievements is complete blank dungeon at level 20 or higher in Season 3.
Damn, so you gotta really earn this one.
Which is weird because the eye level jump, if you are already doing these things, like, you're probably gonna have...
Yeah, like, you're too beefed to really care about, like, a 20 increase on your things.
I mean,
if you're doing mythics, if you're doing level 20s and stuff, you're already doing great.
I guess it's good in that it will increase the conduits of your alts, not your alts, of your different specs that you don't normally play, because those are going to be your last.
This is a real rich get richer type of thing. It's only the upper crust can buy this.
But it's not account wide, I don't think. So that's interesting. But then people are commenting and they don't understand. They're just like, I thought there was gonna be no raid power hidden attached to Zereth Mortis. Or how does this work? And someone goes, you believe them? There wasn't a chance in hell. And it's like, my dudes, you probably don't need this. Like, like why do you need this? Like, it's not a power boost. It's not. It's a little bit of a baby catch up for later. Like, you're gonna already have these boosted by if you're doing this stuff.
And if you're a casual player, there's no need for you to ever have your conduits to that level, honestly, I'm sure.
Hashtag Fred says, I'm a casual player. So if I really feel like I need this, I'd maybe end up paying for a carry. But at that point, I'm just going to end up leveling an alt or running old content. Hashtag Fred understands. If you're a casual, you don't need the power gain associated with this. Which is, again, so minor. So minor. This is actually a pretty good change, I think. It just gives people who do the real stuff you do in the game a little bit more of a reason to do it. But also, in reality, I could do this because I have exactly one 20 keystone in time, and I could do it again in Season 3. Let's go.
And it should hypothetically be easier in Season 3, right? Sort of like how 15s were the ball buster, and now they're accomplishable. So now 20s become better in Season 3.
No, I think they will scale to be harder again, right?
No!
Yeah, I think they're going to scale them to be harder again. I think they're going to add a fuck ton of health and damage to the mobs and the bosses.
Oh no, all my conduit eye levels are slipping out of my hands.
But, like, this is good. So, like, I hope that we continue to do these dungeon runs every Tuesday and Wednesday, which, if people need space, Aaron, if there's space and, like, you guys are going to pug, let us know. We will run to the computer and stop the pugs from joining. Like, if we don't need the pugs. Because we can get our guild to this level. I know we can. And now it's time for our top two bottom boot meaty mood. Aaron, what do you got for your TTBBMM?
Ooh, I like the musicality behind that one. This week, I have myself a top two. My top two is that I was running some islands in an attempt to get doubloons to try and buy the trash seagull mount, because that is one of my things I'm trying to accomplish in this time before 9.2. And during this, I was sort of walking around and I received a message from Cholkma of Korgath, and he said, "Are you doing islands?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I'd love to do some mythics with you. Me and my friend are trying to get doubloons too." And I said, "Oh, thank you." So I was invited to his group with Clegg of Malagos, and we just ran Mythic Islands for like an hour and a half.
This is so funny to me that, like, people were like, yeah, let's run some mythics. And then they mean Mythic Island expeditions.
I mean, I guess someone's doing it for something out there. He asked if it was a good leveling up thing, and I said, I've never run an island when I wasn't max level. But it was fun. Thanks, gang. We got like 300 doubloons. I'm a third of the way there to my trash rat.
Trash rat.
Speaking of trash rats, Slidewhistle, what's your TTBBMM?
Oh!
What was that? Oh, I'm a trash rat. I got
He needs some milk.
There you go.
I was gonna say I know Aaron needs to put it in there.
it. I've got myself a big, fat top toot. Oh my god. I legitimately am excited to level my Mechagnome warrior. Okay, so I have been hate leveling in Final Fantasy.
Boo.
Oh no, the sanctity of our program has been broken. Although I guess Immune did say he was playing it a little bit in like episode 68.
Mostly, I just want to be able to compare. I want to have my own personal comparison of end game between the two. I ask people which game is better, and the answer makes no sense. Google makes no sense, and I'm like, I have to just legitimately get into a raid and play it and see it for myself. That's the only way it's going to happen. So I'm doing it. I'm happy about it. I guess I'm learning I've never particularly liked Final Fantasy games in general, which is kind of weird.
So my thing is that I have always particularly liked the Final Fantasy games themselves. And I was just going to say that, like, if somebody really wanted to get me to play this game, they should have just told me that the game plays more so like a legitimate Final Fantasy game as opposed to, like, an MMO. Like, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, that's also what I would say. It's more of it's RPG first, MMO second. Whereas WoW, I feel like, is MMO first, RPG second. People that played the game don't have it. This is not really what I was meant to make this thing talk about. My whole main thing was I played my warrior in WoW after playing what was their equivalent of a warrior in Final Fantasy, and I didn't realize that WoW's GCD cooldown is straight up 1.5 seconds faster than Final Fantasy GCD. So when I was hitting leveling in Final Fantasy, I was like, man, things are just taking forever to die because like my buttons are just so spaced out. Bitch, I logged on to fucking Mechagon, my little warrior. I'm mowing down like 45 mobs. I'm just like the button is just going so fast. It's like I was in the hyperbolic time chamber and I was training for so long. The button presses were just cut in fucking half.
I can't think of a better way to explain Final Fantasy XIV's content than just tediously punching in the air in the hyperbolic time chamber.
It's like I took off Piccolo's weights that he always wears and throws them off dramatically just to get beat up. I took them off and I'm like, let's go! So just the speed of WoW is really like, it made me feel really good when I just like played it again. I was like, oh, I need this. And that literally is what made me want to level my Mechagnome warrior, which is crazy. That's crazy that's the catalyst for it. What about you, me? What's your TTBBMM?
I'll keep things in the WoW family again with mine and say that I'm going to give it a top 2.
Wow!
Tip top toot!
Wow! My top 2 is that I am doubling back, cleaning up some achievements that I never got, and it feels good. I mean, because I feel like some of these achievements were harder early on, like when I may have like thought about doing them early on in the expansion where I didn't have flying, and I have a lot more gear now, so now I can just literally go and solo all of these bosses in all of the regions to try to get those achievements and things like that. And I could just fly really easily to these treasures that you're supposed to, in Ardenweald, use jump mushrooms to get up to, and I'm like, ha, bitch, I can fly up there. So it's been easy, and it's been, like, fun, and I'm like, yeah, I can get all these achievements done now.
Achievement hunting is so nice. I want to make this like a... what's another word for goal? What's a goal I don't have to commit to? That I could.
A wish.
It's a New Year's resolution.
Wish upon Parunga.
A New Year's resolution of this year is I want to get all of like the silly like exploration like achievements in Shadowlands done, because I always leave expansions with achievements like not finished. You know what I mean? Like, and the ones that I could just be like, get 5 treasures or have a tea party at top of Stormsong Mountain Valley. Like, I want to do fun ones like that I wouldn't normally do. This is the perfect time to do it. So much downtime. And let's start off by, after this recording, going to the mall and summoning a boss and killing it so I can get an achievement. Huh?
Yeah, okay.
Whatever. This episode was brought to you by all of our lovely top 2 patrons, including Adorno, Crucifix, Vanderlyle, don't right-click and save my shout-out, Ahoy Vince, a.k.a. Nathaniel sacrificed himself to see Sylvanas, but she didn't pick up the phone, Saracen Hawk, Jamonkey, 4th host of the podcast, Tajurla, friend of the pod, In Sync, and begrudgingly, Slidewhistle.
Hey, dollar shout-out Toot toot!
Toot toot to our top 2 patrons.
You can join their ranks by heading over to patreon.com/do-not-relent. And you can find the rest of our lovely, tasty socials down in the description of this very episode.
If you have any comments, questions, complaints, send us an email at do-not-relent-pod@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitch, where I stream whenever I fucking feel like it, at Slidewhistle. What about you guys? Where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or follow me on Twitch at Immunization DNR.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, on Twitter at TheBigacheesy, and you can follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
Man, that new outro felt so
This
weird.
is gonna be...
That was yucky.
It's gonna be hard. Okay, bye, guys. And remember...
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.